Hey guys, it's Bill with Big Hat Racing. A little update here on the Topless Coyote project. We're just got Coyotes everywhere these days. So this is how the 2013 Gen 1 now sits in the 71 Mustang. I got the motor mounts fabbed. I got a different spacer for the trans mount. And so this is the final position of the motor. We got some still photos to share with you later with the intake manifold and the blower on it, but everything is going to clear pretty much everything. Do have to fabricate a double sump pan to clear the steering arm and the lower cross member. That's pretty simple. And get this, the right side header, the passenger side header, which is a swap header from BBK for S197 Mustang, goes directly in the car, fits no modification at all, and exits in exactly the right spot.
Nice.
So the driver's side header, on the other hand, is going to be a little more complicated due to the Saginaw 100 box that's in here, but nothing unsolvable. So we'll be fabbing a pan, reworking stock header, or the BBK header that came with the engine from Steve White at VMP. And that's the extent of the fabrication this is going to take. So after that, it's just a matter of doing the wiring and all that fun stuff, and we'll have a running car.
So Bill, what modifications did you make to your shock towers for the big block that was in this previously?
So for the original big block, the shock towers, there's a little more to that meets the eye with these. This portion here is actually factory. But what I did is I added these tubes here that go up inside to triangulate and brace them, and then I refabricated everything where the lower control arm mounts to underneath. This was all to make room for the giant headers that were on the 598, and so I did the same thing on both sides. Also created these large windows, which was handy for changing spark plugs, not to mention getting air out of the engine compartment. So this saves a little bit of space, which frankly on the Coyote doesn't make any difference at all, because the exhaust ports are so relatively low and relatively back. The first exhaust ports, back here. So, the cams are a little bit ahead, but basically the first spark plug is even with the spindle. So the weight on this engine, because it's shorter, yeah, Coyotes are wide, but Coyotes are also short. So almost the entire engine is here right at just the shock towers. So, this just allows it all to work. This has a linkage that I made to convert the original mechanical linkage to a hydraulic linkage. That's already in it from the T56 in it. I had it in it before. And the mount that I fabricated for the T56 behind the big block Ford is exactly the same mount that I'm using for the T56 Magnum that's behind this Coyote. So some of that work was done in advance, but none of it's terribly challenging. It's just a matter of working it. We're at the Big Hat Racing East facility here, also known as Bob or XS Engineering Limited. The good news here is we have access to a modest set of snap-on tools, as you can see from the boxes. And then the thing that made this particular process really nice is the two-post lift and the overhead crane. Boy, there is no easier way I know of to get an engine and trans and be able to get it out and position it and work on it and be able to be under the car, above the car, than using this guy along with the two-post. I recommend it highly. All you need is a space this big.